Okay. Good morning, everyone, to these lovely sessions of Bivin, where we discover different things about different aspects of different modalities. So today we are going to talk about something very interesting that's very close to my heart and something that is very simple, powerful, and you can get from one space to the other through this simple medium. And the medium that I'm talking about, yes, as you can see, this is my company name, which is Soul Writing. So obviously, it's got to do something with writing. So, yes, it is about how handwriting can heal. And that's the topic for the day. Okay, so yeah. So, as I was saying, the topic for the day is, can handwriting heal? Now, we have known handwriting in a different way. In our school days, handwriting was more like whatever you have learned whatever you have learned through the year, you have to reproduce and get marks. And teacher would say your handwriting is not good, and there would be stress about that. So we have experienced handwriting in a different way. But handwriting has far more powers than what we have seen and experienced in our life. And in my various sessions, I talk about how it is a very simple technique, but it's a powerful technique. And something that I love about it is that you don't have to learn any new technique. Handwriting is something that we already know since we were age 6. So we just have to utilize it in a proper way. So let's see. Let's figure out, can handwriting heal? If yes, how? And what's the connection? So coming to that, this is what we will be kind of taking up today to understand the various research, my own experience of other people, how handwriting has contributed to healing. So before we understand everything, what's handwriting? So handwriting is a unique personal expression. We all learned writing A, B, C, D the same way in school. Yet we all today write differently. So forget writing differently as someone else. Like, so if you look at your spouse writing, if you look at a child's writing, it's going to be different. You look at a friend's writing, it's going to be different. And forget others. You look at your own handwriting 5 years back, you look at your own handwriting 10 years back, and it's going to be different because it's a unique personal expression. And it's a direct connection between our brain, and the act of writing is very physical. So it is a very direct connection. It are all about the electric, those those circuits that are formed in the body, those messages that are passed through the nerves, right to our spinal cord, to our, along the arms, into the fingers, into the muscles, and finally we start writing. So, for example, we have Mr. Vasant Salia. So, if he has to write V, the way he would write V, A, S is all coming from the brain, from the thought that, okay, I want to write my name, to the thought that the name is VASANT, and all those messages traveling through our spinal cord, through the arm, through into the fingers, into the muscles, and those formations. So it is a very complex activity that's happening, and it happens with ease. Do we ever think how much is going on when we write? So that's the beauty, There's so much going on. Why I'm explaining this is so that we understand the connection between the brain and the act of writing. It is not just writing. It's coming from a much deeper space. And our writing, reflects our thoughts, emotions, personality. So if like we have, okay, so like, for example, if I'm taking, who's the other person here? So I'm taking Meenaji. So when Meenaji will write M, her M will be different from the way probably, I will write mom. It's going to be different. So when it is different, it is a reflection of different kind of thought processing, different kind of emotional being, different kind of personality trait. So that's what, different handwriting reflects. So that's about handwriting. We understand that the brain and handwriting is connected. It is a deep subject. I mean, we can go on for 2 hours on this. We have a short video, of last to last week, which spoke about how the brain, the hand, and how that entire connection works. So you can refer to that video. Maven has this collection of all the videos on the YouTube, so you can refer to that. Yeah. Now we are coming to understanding healing. Yeah. Healing is of different types. And the main ones I will take here as physical healing. You have got hurt probably while you were cooking in morning and you have got yourself burnt here. It takes time to heal. There's emotional healing. You have been hurt by someone, by some particular action, and there is an emotional reaction. It takes time to heal. There's a psychological well-being, a feeling of that things, I am not good enough, that am I really capable of it? So those deep-seated our thoughts are there in our mind, which really kind of, impacts our well-being. So healing encompasses many things, the three big ones being physical, emotional, psychological. And when I talk about trauma, the physical ones, they are far more easier to heal. But when I talk about the trauma and emotional experiences, they leave an imprint into our body. And different kind of emotions come into different spaces of our body. So if you have a headache, there is a reason there's a headache. It is because of an emotional experience that the headache has come in. And most often you will realize that whatever was the reason, because headache is very simple, very common. We have experienced it's coming and it's going. So you realize that when there is some real stress, you get a headache. Oh, I have to complete this, assignment and I have just one day left. And oh gosh, my head is aching. And all that goes on. Once your assignment is done, the headache is gone. So those are simple day-to-day stuff that happens. But when there are deeper things that happen, there are some experiences that impact us for lifelong. Those experiences leave imprint on our body and our mind. And today, when we talk about holistic approaches, different modalities, that is what those different modalities are addressing. So when you go to an allopathic doctor, you have a headache, you will be given a Saradon. I mean, just taking an example. But if you go to a different kind of a healing modality, like you come to graphotherapy, you come to Reiki, you come to other kind of healing modalities, they are not looking at headache. They are looking at what caused the headache. And why are you feeling disheartened? You're feeling cloudy. You're feeling confused. You don't feel energy in your body. It feels as the world is going to kind of end. Now, these kind of things, the body keeps all the score. Our mind is very smart. It says, I have forgotten. I have just forgotten that incident. I have forgotten that person. I have forgiven the person. But till the time your body and your mind both don't heal together, the true healing doesn't happen. So understanding healing is it's far more deeper than just forgetting, than just taking a medicine. It's removing those imprints from the body, from the mind, for the healing to happen. When you get physically hurt, पहले वो एक it's a red spot, there's blood in there. As time goes on, you realize that there is a layer on it, and then as time goes on, that imprint goes away, that all those things go away. Yeah, just give me a moment, please, just a moment. I'm back. So that's what healing is all about. When we come to, so just a brief introduction about myself. I am Preeti Gandhi, a handwriting influencer, a grapho-analytical therapist. I have been as an entrepreneur and in various spaces of IT, advertising, branding, for past 30 years. And my journey with graphology started in 2009. And I have undergone a lot of lives. I have overcome many life challenges by using different modalities. And after using different modalities, what I realized is that handwriting offers a very simple, easy to do method to overcome those challenges. And through my various experiences, today I am on a mission to empower individuals, to empower, in fact, everyone who would like to be healed through the simple and powerful tool of handwriting and handwriting therapy, because it holds a lot of power. And today, when I'm standing here from the experience of having actually achieved that for myself. Of course, it's an ongoing journey. You remove one layer and then you find there's another layer below. You remove that layer, you find another layer below. That's a different thing, but it's always a work in progress. And also working with different clients, I've seen the ease with which things are doable. Coming back to handwriting as a healing tool, there are many known aspects that we know about, handwriting, which is the neural exercise, enhancing the cognitive abilities. We know that. There's a lot of research that's gone on into this. There's meditative and mindful practice that reduce stress, expressive writing for emotional release. I have had another, talk on the platform about different kind of writing that can be done. There were 9 kind of journaling styles that we had discussed there. So these are known. These are known ways of using handwriting as a healing tool. And there are some lesser known aspects, which is like how your handwriting actually reveals your personality trait. So I was speaking about the letter M. I was speaking about the letter V. Now, they all signify a certain aspect of the personality. In one of the workshops that I had conducted last month, we spoke about self-esteem and how you can identify that element in your writing, through different letters. So its handwriting does reveal the different personality trait. And not only just the letters, but how you're writing on the page. What's the spacing? What's the pressure? What's the slant? A lot of aspects. And while all this comes from the brain, whatever programming has happened in the brain, according to that, you are going to write the letter M. You would have seen many people write letter M as a straight, vertical line, diagonal, and again a vertical line. But there are some who would just write a vertical line and then there's like a U and there's a line. So these things reveal different aspects. So this is showing the current programming in the brain. Let us say, for example, letter M. It is showing my current programming. When I modify this letter M through various practices, not just letter M, but having that flexibility in the fingers, doing the warm-up exercise, and coming to the letter M, that is a two-way street. So this reflects how I write. When I change the writing, the programming here changes. So if there is an emotional trauma that's stored in our body, handwriting can actually heal that through deliberate writing, through graphotherapy. And that's something which is less known aspects of the handwriting as a medium. And it's not just me telling, because of my experiences, there's a lot of research that's going on across the world on various aspects, and every day they are discovering something new. So these are some of the articles written by the psychiatrist.com, The Week, Harvard Business Review, the HBR. There are so many articles in Times of India, in Forbes. There are universities even in USA. Like in USA, in the education system, they had shifted from handwriting to the digital many years back because it's a developed country. Now they're coming back to writing because the research has, made them realize that handwriting is an important aspect, while digital aspects are not to be ignored because they add to convenience, they add to flexibility. So it's not about handwriting or digital. It's not about analog or digital. It's about analog and digital together. How do we use it for our advantage? So there's many research. I mean, these are just few. I mean, if I just put in the main researchers, there would be some 10 pages about it. So suffice to say that there's a lot of research going on in this field to actually show how writing impacts the brain wiring, how different parts of brains are activated, when you write different letters, when you write vis-a-vis reading. So that's as far as the research goes. So there's a lot happening in this space and it's very exciting. And also it brings up the concept of neuroplasticity. We have believed for a very long time that whatever genes we are born with, that's done. My life is sealed. Kya bolte hain? I'm not getting the right word. My fate is destined. This is what is going to happen. Not necessarily. There has been research that's gone that, if diabetes is hereditary, so if there is an adopted child that comes into the family, that child is not carrying the diabetic gene. But because the child is in the family, the tendency to develop diabetes is far more. So it's not just the genes. It's the concept of neuroplasticity. In simple words, it's the brain's ability to change its physical structure as well as its functional organization in response to how you train it, in response to what kind of experiences you give it. So one of the ways of training it, and a very simple and powerful way of training the brain, is through graphotherapy. And, and this can happen throughout the life. It's not like it has to happen in first 15 years or 20 years or 30 years. It can happen throughout life. There are people who have done this even at the age of 65, 70, and they have got results and they have been able to reduce their, medicines through the simple practice. So that's the power of neuroplasticity. That is what is the connecting link between your handwriting and your healing. It explains that why the healing can happen through handwriting, because that's an innate ability of the brain to restructure itself depending on the experiences. So nothing in life is final. There are some of you who may have gone through huge traumas in your life, and it may feel that now I cannot do this because that's what I underwent before. There are people who are scared of heights because something happened in childhood. That doesn't mean that you can't enjoy heights. You can. You just need to do the things that's required to do. Yeah, so nothing is final in life. It's always, the power is in your hands. I mean, literally. Yeah, so that's what neuroplasticity does. And I would, one thing about it is that, you engage your brain in multiple activities. And when you repeat that, you will find that new neural pathways are formed and connections are formed. So use it, or else it loses the ability. And then to reignite takes a lot of effort. If there is a ball if there is let us say a car that's already moving a little and you push it, it will move faster. But there's a car that's stationary. To push it, you really need 4 or 5 people. So the effort needed to use it later on is far more. So don't wait for anything, to happen. Just start using your brain's capacity to restructure itself, to reorganize itself. And how it has helped. This is kind of a case study of one of my clients. And, these were certain questions I asked that, how will you describe your overall mindset and emotional being after the 30 days practice? And she says, I'm having a 5-star mindset. And she's now seeing the challenges in her life more as a teaching opportunity rather than as a limiting factor. And that is huge. It means that you are no longer, now you have got the ability. every time you see any difficulty as a challenge, your brain knows that I can overcome this. And you go one notch up, next notch up, another notch up, another notch up. There is no end to it. Did you face any challenges during the 30 days? Yes, she says challenges were inevitable, but the morning ritual of writing, and there are certain hand exercises that helped her to keep on track. Can you share any breakthrough? Yes, there are certain letters that I had given, and she really found them so empowering. And by the way, she did not even know that time that what letter stands for what. It's just that she felt while writing those letters, that's the feeling she got. And as I said, this is not just me telling, you all must have seen this picture. This is, the Brussels attack on, I forget the airline's name, from the 2016. And this picture had become symbolic of the Brussels attack, terrorist attack. And this lady here, I mean, uh, words are less to talk about her. She had, you can see in this picture how tattered she is, how she has been injured physically, mentally. There were so many shreds that went into various parts of her body. She underwent multiple surgeries and God knows what not. And she has come up with a book about her experiences of how she came out of this. And that book is known as Unbroken. And she is a survivor. And one of the things she writes is that is what I have highlighted, that she started forgetting things. She just couldn't remember. And she was scared. She did not know what life holds. And her husband suggested that, why don't you write whatever you remember? And she started scribbling. Initially, she couldn't even write properly. But she started scribbling whatever came to her mind, whatever she remembered. And writing became a huge medium for her to kind of take out the burden from here and put it on paper. She was able to bring a distance between her experience and herself. And from that space of calmness, she actually did a lot of things. Later on, she went into making a book out of it. I mean, she was encouraged by her family. Her family supported her, and she wrote out everything in the form of a book. And the book is there for all of you to read. And that's what handwriting can contribute to. Your life experiences, your life expectations will change the way you use handwriting, but it is a tool to use. It is a tool to use to really come out of whatever the situation one is in. And every time I talk about her, Nidhi Chapekar, I mean, I'm amazed at what a person's will and what the tools that they use can take them wherever they want. So yeah, I would invite you all to explore your handwriting as a potential for healing. Learn graphotherapy techniques and handwriting exercises. They are very powerful. Join different kind of, in fact, we are having a workshop, in the coming month. And I would like to share that detail. These are some of the services that I offer. There are workshops, handwriting analysis, therapy, kids handwriting. And I would like to talk about, this workshop that we'll be conducting on 7th of July for 6 days, starting from Monday to Friday, where the first day will be the masterclass, and then there will be 5 days of graphotherapy. So that's an opportunity for you if you would like to explore this medium a little more. And even if you do not, if you want to or not is a different issue, but remember to use handwriting as a tool for emotional well-being and many other aspects. So embrace this beautiful power that you any which ways have, and use it for your personal transformation. So I welcome any questions that you may have regarding what we spoke about in terms of can handwriting heal, and uh, shoot your questions and I'm happy to answer.
We are still curious how handwriting will heal the stress.
Could you repeat that?
We are still curious how handwriting will heal the stress part.
So in fact, stress has many layers, but the initial layer of, where, see what happens is when someone is stressed, it is like a spiral, you start with a thought. For example, probably I have an examination to give tomorrow and I'm not well prepared. So how does that spiral? Oh God, tomorrow is the exam. I've not read the notes. Actually, I did not even attend the lectures properly. But somehow, even when I'm looking at the notes, I'm not able to remember what it is. I have only written the notes, but I don't know why I'm not able to remember. Oh gosh, I mean, what will happen if I don't pass this? Then I cannot, assuming I'm a 12th standard student, I cannot, appear, I will not get admission in good colleges. What happens if I don't get admission in good colleges? I mean, what will my life be? Will I get a good job after that? It goes on and on and on. It just starts with a simple thought, but we create stories around it. So one thing that handwriting can really do is a very simple thing you can use is whenever you feel so stressed, you just start writing whatever your stress is about. Because in the mind, we are in a loop. It's a non-stop loop. We will go on and on and on. But when you start writing, you will write once, mere life ka kya hoga? When you write the second time, it will be like, yeah, I wrote it, but the thought is coming, mere life ka kya hoga? But when you write it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, the mind is like, likh liya na, what next? The loop stops. The loop ends there. And then there are certain graphotherapy strokes, which actually helps you to calm down and come in a creative space. So that combination works. But because not everybody may be knowing the stroke, what you can always do is write whenever you are under a lot of stress. And don't wonder what you're writing. Just write, write, write. Set a timer for 10 minutes and you will be amazed that you can't even write for 10 minutes. Just try that, and I would like to know the experience. So that is one of the ways in which you can tackle stress through handwriting.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome. I know, Shabana ji, you must be wondering that a lot of questions we ask Preeti, and somehow she takes it to thought journal. Uh, and I cannot impress upon the fact of the various benefits of thought journal. It might sound so simple and maybe a little childish, but I cannot impress upon the fact of how powerful it is.
No, I totally agree with that. Because
Thank you.
it doesn't
Any
matter
other
how
questions?
much we resist, the power lies in hand means writing that.
Yes, so true, Shabana ji. Any other questions? If anybody would like to share that, how do they handle stress? What is the method you use to handle stress? Would anyone like to talk about that? Share their experience?
Well, I like to take a break.
Okay. Go out for a walk or something like that.
Yeah, or have a nap or something like that.
Okay. It's very powerful to have a toolkit. So, various ways in which you can give yourself that free time, that mindful time, and it gives you different tools. So, it's like it's a buffet. And then today, what do I feel like picking? And I pick that up. And so it's powerful to have a toolkit of various ways in which, because everyone is individual, they have their own preferences. So for each of you watching this video live or even watching it later on, make your own toolkit. That what are the things that relaxes me the most faster, the most easiest. So make a toolkit of that. And because what happens is when we are stressed, we cannot think. So if you think कि हाँ जब मैं stressed होंगी तब मैं सोचूंगी, it's very difficult for the brain to come out of that spiral and think reasonably. So have a toolkit ready, maybe, keep it as a message in your WhatsApp to yourself. And whenever you are stressed, you just open that WhatsApp and see what feels that you can do it right now and do that. Have a list handy, ready. So each one would have a different list, and ensure that you have thought journal as one of the things over there.
Awesome. But we are talking about stress, but I think handwriting can heal many other things as well. So if you would
Yes.
like to tell us about
Okay, so mm, so I have been in advertising industry for a good 21 years, and advertising industry is very deadline based. So there is one client things that would come, and then there would be another client calling up, there's an ad tomorrow, or there's this photo shoot going on. And for me, I would get so stressed with so many things to do. And my pattern became of being very haphazard in my day planning. And that became the pattern in my personal life as well. So very haphazard. If that time you would ask me, Preeti, like it's 8:30 right now, what will you be doing at 9:30? I would have no clue. It would be like whatever comes up, I will manage it that way. So life became extremely stressful. I would never reach anywhere on time. It was a given कि अगर प्रीति आने वाली है, उसने 9 बजे बोला है, तो 9 तो she won't come. She will come at 9:15, 9:30. That was given. Because you know how these are small things, but they have big effect in your life. So the trust that my loved ones would have on me, at least when it came to coming on time, was zero. But but there are two strokes that really helped me to bring that semblance, to bring that order, to bring that discipline. So today, when I have a calendar and I have 2 months already already planned, and my target is that I achieve 3 months at least, in this year itself, that I have 3 months planned ahead. So that's something that the handwriting strokes helped me to do. That's my personal experience I'm sharing. So now it took my family to, it took them some time to shift from that Preeti never comes on time to, Preeti does come on time sometimes, to Preeti will be on time. So that's some journey that I have taken with graphotherapy strokes.
wow, that's great. And I think Meena ji, would you like to share something? Us? I think Meena ji also did the last program as well.
Yes. I would love to know, Meenaji, what was your experience?
Okay, I'm not ready.
It's
It
a,
will go in the morning. Well, I'm leaving. Oh, sorry. I'm leaving for New York this evening. So last minute, because we were supposed to go end of the month, but my husband decided for some reason to prepone. So too many things are happening. I hope I'm not on recording. Just wanted to be sure. So yeah, my experience, it was such a.
shall I stop the live stream? Let me stop the live stream so that he can share.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second.